Yo, what's up, guys? So this one is called the Oscars. Um, just my take on it. Um, Inspired by Zach Stent's comment about it. Um, and I quoted Zach and I said, I saw for 2 decades agents scramble to go read his quote, by the way. I mean, go read his thread on Twitter. I should have printed it out. I usually do, but basically, he said like it's not the Spirit Awards. Like what? Like come on, you know. And I agree. And I said, which is kind of a controversial thing to say, but I agree. And I said, I quoted him. I said, I've seen for or saw for 2 decades agents scramble, CAA agents scramble to like catch up, like I need to watch the nominees for Best Picture. For 20 years, I saw that, and it I don't know what, like, I'm just explaining, like, if you think agents are like, I'm super caught up on everything. No, they're not, generally not. I saw plenty of agents like scramble. Oh, I need to watch that before the Oscars so I can like know what movies these are because I have no idea. You know, and that's a sidebar comment. I feel like after the Oscars, then people in town are like, you know what? I'd like to win an Oscar. Like, I'd like to have something up for the Oscars. Like, let me focus a little bit more on stuff that is like Oscar worthy. You know what I mean? Like smaller stuff is what I'm talking about. But then at a certain point, they're like, I don't give a shit. Like, I want to make money. I want to do big stuff. But I just think it's interesting. This is just my take. I just think it's interesting that like this year in particular, I had only what was there 10 movies up for like Best Picture? What the? And I had only heard of two of them. I can't even. I remember, and I saw one of them. One of them was Wicked, right? I don't remember the other movie that I had heard of, but otherwise, I hadn't heard of any of them. And one of them, and I'm saying like this is not good for Hollywood. One of them was a producer that I know, and I didn't even know that that movie was out. First of all, or that it was up for Best Picture. I had never heard of it. That's not a good thing for Hollywood. Hollywood is like on life support. You know what I mean? Like if I've only heard of two of those movies, and I used to be represented at 6 places by 5 people, and I've only heard of two, like that's not good, man. You know. And I also noticed that I'm gonna try not to cuss in this video. By the way, let's see if I can do it. Wish me luck, guys. And I also noticed that there was a lot of like medication commercials during during it. I was like, that is a lot of medication commercials. So what that tells me is they know that the demographic for watching this is a bunch of old people. You know what I mean? Like youngsters, kids. By kids, I mean like in their 20s, like even 30 years old. That's what I mean by kids and youngsters. Even 30 is a youngster to me. Okay, I'm old, and I was just, I'm like, if these youngsters even see like Meryl Streep or something. I'm just like, this whole thing is playing like really old and ancient and decrepit, and like, this is not cool anymore, man. Like, even if they, and this is not a slam on Meryl Streep. She did a great job in Devil Wears Prada and a bunch of other stuff. I get it, cool. But for most like 25, like what is the demographic for films now? I don't know. But if you showed a 25-year-old Meryl Streep, they would be like, I don't know who that is. I have no idea. You know? And, a lot of these actors, I think a lot of kids would be like, I don't know who that is. Sorry, like like, sorry, Dad. I'm just being honest. I don't know who that is. You know, uh, or Grandpa. Like. So I think Hollywood has a major problem on its hands, where it's just like it could just collapse the whole thing. You know, that's what I'm seeing. They just want to do the same thing, and a lot of people are just pulling out of it, being like, "No, I don't need to go to the movies. I'll just, um, like Eric Rogers said today, like I'll just wait for it to come out. It's gonna come out on TV in like a week, right? So I'll just stay home. Maybe I'll catch it. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good thing in my mind. It's not a good thing. And I'm not trying to flex here. I'm just saying it's not a good thing. I got 6 TVs in here. 6. And I'll put another one out here outside for sports, for the homies and shit. But I don't watch any of them. I don't barely ever watch TV. My lady does. She watches a lot of TV, but not. She doesn't barely ever watch movies, but I've committed to taking her to the movies more, um, and because my homeboy's like, you gotta take her to the movies, man. Like, it's just a thing, and I don't really go to the movies. Like, it's not something I love, but I'm like, I'll commit to that, to take her to the movies more. But I can't even we saw 2 movies in the last, like, I don't know, 3 months. I remember one was Wicked. I don't even remember what the other movie was. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. That's not good. And I can't remember which movie it was. I'm just being honest, man. Like, I don't talk crap on movies, but one of them, I felt like that could have ended like 5 times. Like, why are we still here? Um, and for me, like, when I've written, I like my third act to be pretty short. Some of my third acts have been 10 pages, 15 pages. How is that going to work? And then people read it and like, oh, it didn't feel rushed. I can pull that off. I'm just like, let's get out of here. Like, we're done with this. Um, like, let's not be gratuitous with the ending. Like the save the cat. Like the last like 3 beats or whatever it is. Where it's like, you got to come back into town and share your wisdom and do. And for me, I don't write like that. I write like more like No Country. Like, where like, bam, we're done. Let's get out of here. But also, I think there's a theater problem too. Like, there's a lot going against Hollywood right now. Um, Let me get to that 1 second. Just my opinion, man. I'm just rambling about that. But let me say, first of all, you asked youngsters, like, do you know who Harrison Ford is? Do you know who Clint Eastwood is? Do you know who, um, um, I don't know, Meryl Streep, whatever? They're gonna be like, no, I don't know who that is. Not trying to be offensive, But these kids know, like, I know who Mr. Beast is. You know, like, I know who people like that are. I know, like, YouTube stars, you know, I know that. I don't really know actors, you know, I don't really watch that stuff. I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok. That's where my eyeballs are going. Like, Hollywood has a major problem with that, is like, all the youngsters, their all eyeballs are going to social media, not TV and movies. So I don't know. You know, like, and Hollywood just wants to let's just make the same thing over and over and over and over again. If I'm honest, man, like, I wouldn't care about doing an open writing assignment for like the next that. I don't want to put a movie down, but I would just be like, I don't super care. Like, I would do it for the money, but that's it. You know what I mean? Here's another thing. Some agents, I've had agents tell me this, is number one, I did not read my client's script, and I sold it. And number two, I didn't see the movie. You know, well, what about the premiere? They're like, I was busy that day, so I didn't go, and I've never seen it. Okay, like, that's one thing to understand about agents, you know. And I will say this about Sherry. Um, Sherry read everything cover to cover, everything. She never sold anything that she didn't read. I'll tell you that. For if any of her clients, ex-clients, happen to see this, she read it cover to cover. Your book, your screenplay, whatever it was, yeah. That's just how she rolled. What else was I going to say? Like, going to the theater, to me, like, did we go to Mans both times? See, I can't even remember the other movie we saw. I can't remember. It doesn't stick in my mind. You know, that's not a good thing. But you know, going into the theater, like, boom, like, I know some people love the theater. I got two more points, and then I'm out of here. Going into the theater, because I never really went to the theater that much. I would watch the screeners at the end of the year, and that's kind of, and watch the Oscars, and that's kind of it. You know, Sherry and I would almost never went to the theater. I think we went to like four movies in 20 years at the theater, and we had free, like, get in free cards. You know what I mean? Like, never went. That's not good. But you know, so I've gone twice in the last like 3 months, but before that, I never took my lady to the movies in 10 years. Never. So I get in there, it's like a new experience for me. I'm like, there's a gigantic line for food, you know, popcorn and stuff, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to wait in this line, dude. I don't, you know, I'm old, bro. Like, my legs get tired. I want to sit down, you know. I almost cussed, but I didn't. And so whatever. So waiting that whole, I'm like, is there like an express lane or something? You know, I don't wait in lines anywhere, man. I'm too old for that. I go to Vegas, I'll just be like, bap, 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 like, give me in, you know. But so, you know, then we get popcorn. It's like, oh, a bag of popcorn. They're like, oh, that's $12, or you know, whatever it is. Like, I'm like, what? Like, going to the movie? How much is that? Like, what is this? Like $150? Like, for this whole thing? Like, and I don't even like the movie anyway. Like, you know, I did like Wicked though, kind of, but I felt like that one went a little too long too. But you know, I think the whole thing has problems. Last thing I was going to say is this, is like, I think Hollywood confuses itself about like, no, everybody like super cares about movies and TV because there's billboards everywhere. You know what I mean? And if you're not from LA or don't live in LA, like there's billboards literally everywhere of TV shows, movies, like the one on Sunset that's like a whole building. Like I know a lot of people want their stuff to be on that building, right? I don't even know what that building is, but yeah, there's always a massive one there, or on Venice and I think Venice and La Brea. Uh, there's five or six billboards, you know, and sometimes it's for all of it is for the same movie, like five or six billboards, all for the same movie. You know what I mean? Like Hollywood pushes their movies very hard in Hollywood, but that's it. You go to like Tennessee or something, there's not one billboard about movies, you know, or whatever. Um, like any other parts of the country. Um, Sorry if I hiccup. I just took a new medicine and I got the hiccups for a minute. I'm like, oh no, like um, I took a steroid once because I cut my uvula and my lady was like, take a steroid that'll like swelling will go down. I had the hiccups for 11 hours straight, just hiccup, 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 hiccup. I'm like, oh my God. Then I read that that can be a side effect from that. Anyway, I think my hiccups are gone, so cool. But anyway, what I was saying was that I think LA is like confuses itself about like how in demand uh, movies are to people. I know a lot of like plenty of my friends in the industry are like they see a lot of stuff, but most of my friends who are not in the industry barely ever go to the movie. Like sometimes, you know what I mean? Maybe twice a year, something like that. Maybe once a year. But it's not like a thing that they're not like cinephiles. And that's the other thing I'll say about agents too. That's another thing to know about agents. Most agents are not cinephiles. A lot of them have like a law degree or something. They're coming from that world. They're not like most of them are not like super duper like cinephile fans with like posters in their house and they're like, I don't care about movies that much. I'm just trying to sell them, so that's why I say, who gives a shit? I cussed. Who cares if they don't even read your script but can sell it? Who cares? Anyway, that's that's my thought on the Oscars. I think it was super stale, and I was just like, this is like, I caught the last, I don't know, hour and 15 minutes or whatever, because my homeboy's like, oh, I'm at the Oscars. So I'm like, all right, I'll put it on. Otherwise, I wasn't even going to watch it, and I was just bored the whole time, really. And so I'll stop talking there. I just think it's not a good sign if you can tell it's skewing really old, and middle America has never heard of probably 90% of those movies, you know. Um, and I have trans friends. Don't get mad. Chill out. I have trans friends, um, but even they didn't tell me about that movie. I had never heard of that movie. I was like, what's this? So middle America has never heard of that. And they're just like, what is Hollywood doing? Like, Why aren't they nominating the films that I've heard of? But whatever, that's what Hollywood wants to do. So maybe Hollywood will crash and burn and be no more. Maybe. You know what I mean? The city will always be there, but the industry might completely die if they don't get their head out of their behind. I'm out. Peace. Good luck. I hope you win an Oscar. I'm out. Bye.